so much for joining us for this edition of Easton Park Talk. I'm here with our new neighbor, Tim Andrew, who is a realtor, but he's also bringing the newspaper back.
Yeah, remember those?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's the Easton Park Gazette.
Okay.
Right when we moved here, we did a to-be-built, so I've been part of the community for a year and a half now.
Okay.
And immediately saw how great the community was, how everyone wants to lend a helping hand to everyone. More than just a neighborly, hey, I have extra sugar that you need,
Yeah.
More than that, and so many entrepreneurs here that it's how can we help each other grow each other's business. So, bringing out this newspaper to showcase what's going on in Easton Park from both a event standpoint of, Easton Made is coming up in December. So, having the newspaper that's coming out this week or next week will have info on the Easton Made event. And
love that.
But then also featuring entrepreneurs. So, going to talk to the food trucks and everyone who owns a company in this neighborhood who seems to be a good amount of people.
Yeah.
And just kind of let them be featured in the newspaper to all of their peers, which, right now is somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 homes and just continuing to grow. So just giving them an opportunity to get their name out there, but, also get my name out there and
of course
give back to the community.
Yeah, it's so entrepreneurial here. And we joke that you really don't have to leave Easton Park, right? You get your groceries delivered. I think there's a grocery store coming, and we've talked with some people who live here. There are some Mexican grocery stores that are very close that have some of the best produce and the best food. Even have you ventured down Thaxton yet to Star Mart or Star Market?
No, not yet.
We
went to one of those Mexican grocery stores. We did a Paella Fest last weekend. Where my husband's family hosts a Paella Fest up on Lake Travis. So we were one of the chefs. There were 6 of us. But anyways, to not digress, went to one of those Mexican.
Where'd you go?
Grocery stores. Oh, I don't remember.
Okay. There's
one of the two. Because there's 2 right down the road here, right?
Yeah. There's there's a really big one. I think it's called JD's, and it's off of. I think it's 183. I could be wrong, but it is huge.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Excuse me. And they have the best produce and all the best. It's awesome. And we were talking with Jonathan F. Tink, he runs the food club or the dinner club, food club. I can't remember. He's awesome. Find him on Facebook. You'll see what the name of his club is. He is a big, he's like, go to these Mexican grocery stores, go to all the grocery stores, but what we have near us because of the demographic, it's produce, it's like cactus and papayas and just out of the norm that you don't see at H-E-B or Central Market or Whole Foods. So there's that, but then in the neighborhood, we have the food trucks here. Esmeralda does, I don't know if you like enchiladas and...
Esmeralda made my breakfast tacos for the morning of my wedding.
She did?
For my whole party.
Okay.
And my parents getting ready at the Airbnb my parents rented when they're here.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah, so she brought all the tacos and they were gone in 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, she's excellent. And she's so good. You can get your hair cut.
Yeah.
Down in Bryant Park. It's called Side Yard Salon. Irene.
Oh, that one I didn't know.
Yeah, she's excellent. She was hanging out on Sunday. She came on the podcast. She's been in Easton Park from the beginning. She's down in Bryant Park. She's OG. Yeah. But she's a hairdresser, and you go to side yard. It's because the salon's in her side yard.
Right.
You go into the gate and
cool.
She'll cut your hair.
Get a massage in here now. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple massage therapists.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave. I think it's so cool. And what I love about Easton Park is that everyone's so supportive. Like you said, everyone's so supportive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like wanting to watch people grow. There's a company, it's called The Word Company. The CEO of The Word Company is a client of ours, lives here in Nob Hill. And
no way.
Yeah, you meet these people who everyone's really just nice and happy. And Steve said this one time, we were at a wedding in Marion, Ohio, and it was an affluent group of people. And we were kind of watching everyone kind of interact. We were there as friends from Texas, so we didn't really know anyone. So it's really fun to watch from afar.
Right.
And he's like, no one's worried about work on Monday. And that was the first time I've ever thought about that. And I feel like Easton Park No one's really worried about work. Like, we're all doing our jobs. A lot of entrepreneurs, so people are probably working on Sunday, so they're super not, they're worried about Sunday and whatever. But I love what you said when you started this, was that like community. That's one of your favorite things. And we've done several of these chats with people in the community. And when we've asked them, what's your favorite thing? Overwhelmingly, people say community. Yeah. It's special.
I mean, I always joke because I'm from Boston originally.
Okay.
And I always watch the movies and people are driving down their neighborhoods and waving down the street. And I'm like, in Boston, we don't do that, We give them a different wave. And
what kind of wave?
Well, yeah, you know that one.
Yeah. Not the finger that you smashed in the door.
No, not that one.
Got it. They were on the same page.
Yes. And I'm always like, oh, no one does that, but that, how cool. I kind of want to be in a community like that.
Yeah.
Came down here and literally as we were coming to the tour, like people waving at us, and I'm like, what is going on? Yes. And it was just one of those communities. Yeah. So I don't know. I just love it. It's cool.
Yeah, we love it too. It's special. There's something special about it. Everyone's excited to be here. Everyone feels proud to be here, and even people that are like, a lot of us built our home. You built your home, and we'll talk about that in a second, and then we'll get into real estate and all the stuff that you do because that's the most important thing. But when you build your home, there's a level of like investment in the community.
Yep.
And you feel it, and it feels like even people that are like who have cycled out for jobs, or maybe they found another home or whatever, even renters are excited to be here,
right?
It's a cool spot,
right?
It's so trendy.
I mean, it's when people move here, it's rare, like unless there's a circumstance of family change or they're moving out of the state or something, rare that people leave, but are selling and buying in the neighborhood and just moving down the street to a bigger house, smaller house if they're downsizing, or start renting here and never want to leave, so buy here.
Right.
We call
the people that have built and then moved in and then built somewhere else and moved. We call that the Easton Park Shuffle.
Yep.
Like the people that were in Bryant Park that are now in Skyline.
Right.
Like that's the Easton Park Shuffle, and it's so cool because it's like why leave?
Exactly.
It's so cool. It's
like I said, everything's here.
Everything's here, and the people are cool. And I think one of my favorite things about, like, if we were to dive into community a little bit more, it's a very welcoming community to everyone. Like, there's so many cultures here. There's so many orientations here, and it's just like it doesn't matter. It's just people.
Right.
People kicking it, having a good time, making friends, and I find that's the kind of people that I want to be around.
Exactly.
Is cool, open-minded, kind community.
Right.
Who doesn't want that?
Exactly.
So you built your home.
We did.
You and your husband.
Yep.
Who's your builder?
We were with Brookfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it excellent?
Love them.
Okay.
Our sales rep was great. Our concierge was great. Our builder was fantastic. Our warranty guy is awesome. I mean, the story I always tell just to show how great they are, and Brookfield's not paying me to say this, but
not yet.
Not yet. Is the day we moved in, movers finally left, and we were like, oh my God, we're starving, and have all these boxes. So got Subway, came back, threw it in the microwave because, actually no, we got Subway on the way here and then waited 3 hours while we were moving. Yeah. So it was cold. So wanted to heat it up, and the microwave wouldn't open again once it started.
Oh no.
So I'm like, come on, like, just what I need when I move in.
I just want a sandwich.
Right. They came so quickly, took the microwave out, fixed it, and put it in a brand new microwave, first of all.
Oh, cool.
But then the sandwich was still warm.
No way.
In that time frame, they came, fixed, and
you still were able
to warm sandwich.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they're great.
I've heard excellent things about Brookfield.
Yeah.
They were not our builder. Unfortunately, we love our home, but Brookfield, everyone has an excellent story about them. Yeah. Something that they've just like gone above and beyond, or the sales reps were great. I mean, everyone loves them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a Brookfield community.
Right.
So one would hope
so.
that it would be that good, but I've heard excellent things. Yeah. And so when you guys were building your house, like, what was the inspiration for, like, what kind of house you bought, like the size, like all the things that go into it, the lot you picked out?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we had no plans on buying a house.
Okay.
Because we were still relatively new to the area. At that point, we were only here for a year and a half, maybe. No, not even a year.
Okay.
So we were maybe 11 months in. But my husband Blake found on TikTok or Instagram Easton Park, and so he was like, let's go check it out. As a joke, because the town that I grew up in, just south of Boston, is Easton, Massachusetts.
No way.
I swear to God. So we were like, all right, as a joke.
Are you serious?
Right hand to God. Grew up in Easton, Massachusetts.
We have a story for you, but it's very small world, but please.
Really?
Please continue, yes.
So we're like, all right, let's go check it out. He's like, yeah, there's food trucks, there's a coffee shop, so let's go get, a coffee and go enjoy. So we're like, all right. Got our coffee from Sinizo, went to the model homes, and I think 3 days later signed a contract with Brookfield.
Yeah.
Literally no intention of buying. And
awesome.
There we were.
It's such a cool spot. Like, everything about it, from the food truck park. Have you tried the Thai food truck yet?
Oh my God.
I know.
Our favorite.
It's so good. Siniso's the best. Yep. And Harrison and Nancy, they live obviously in the neighborhood, and they're wonderful. Just they're so cool. They're so much fun.
I've heard so much. I haven't met them yet. I'm excited to, though.
We'll fix that. We'll definitely fix that. Yeah. What's your Siniso order?
Okay. So typically it's a iced vanilla latte.
Okay.
Anywhere I go. But when Steve and I got coffee the other day, it was cold. It was getting chilly.
Okay.
So I went and got a hot iced latte. No, I just did it again. That was going to be
that's your drink.
Literally, I walked up and I was like, of a large hot iced latte, iced vanilla latte. And he's like, what?
Come again?
Like, that's a large hot iced vanilla latte. And finally realized, I was like, oh, wait. Hot vanilla latte, please.
Was it good?
Oh yeah, so good.
I'll do like an iced coffee in the winter. I really like iced coffee a lot. Their matcha's real good.
Oh yeah.
Really, really good. Their mocha's real good. Steve does
that yet.
It's really good. Everything's really good. Their drip is good, like just a drip coffee.
Yeah.
Excellent. Steve does the chai tea. He'll get hot chai tea even in the summer, which is weird to me, but
we all have our options.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink cold coffee in the winter, hot chai tea in the summer, but no, it's everything about them is good.
Oh yeah.
And the thing, I love Harrison and Nancy. And Harrison was on our podcast a while ago. We need to have them back because so much has changed since then. But the one thing that has always stuck with me with Harrison and Nancy is that, and if you look, I don't know if it was on the old truck because there's two trucks.
Yeah.
The new one is now over at Food Truck Park, or what is it? Treehouse Park, I think is the proper name for it. But they had written intentionality on the door of inside. Like that's that's their motto, is like everything they do is so intentional. And I think that's really, really cool.
Right.
Especially when you're building a business and a culture.
Right.
Which brings me to your business. So tell me about what you do in the world.
Yes. So I am a realtor. I have been one for about 7 years now.
Okay.
Started up in Boston, started a property management company up there during COVID, half as a temporary thing where COVID just started. I was working for a property management company. They decided to shut their doors once COVID hit.
Sure.
So I said, all right, I'll just take the clients that I like from this company start my own.
Very entrepreneurial of you.
But I was like, just for 6 months until COVID is over, because COVID's only going to be, a 2-month thing.
Yeah, duh.
And then we'll go get a sales job in some tech company. So, that was the plan.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, 12 months later, the company was just booming, and I hired a bunch of different employees and team members. Awesome. And just kind of forgot that it was a temporary plan. So property management, had a brokerage team there. Still in the company up there in Massachusetts. And then,
you do?
Yep.
Oh, very cool.
Yep. And then came down here now 2.5 years ago and got my license here right when I moved here and never looked back. So joined EXP down here in the One Source team.
Awesome.
So we have about, I think it's 6 agents now on our team, and just loving it and having fun, meeting people and selling houses.
That's awesome. We talked to some people that came to Texas from California.
Yeah.
Realtors, husband and wife team. Jason and Henny. I don't know if you know them yet, but you need to.
Yeah.
They're amazing. But they said, and a lot of people that have come from other states said that the Texas, there's something like you have to take, there's something about the Texas test that is hard. What is it? I forget.
I don't know what they would describe as hard technically, but it's the class itself is long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember anymore, but it's like maybe 100 hours.
Isn't it two tests though? There's like the state test and then the
national.
The national.
There's a couple different parts of the tests too, where that's what I was super surprised about coming from Massachusetts here is a lot of states are reciprocal of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So it's just like you fill out some forms, you take an ethics course, and you have your license in the new state. Massachusetts is like a 40-hour class in one test. Here is like a 120-hour course, something along those lines, and multiple tests. And I was like, I really thought I was going to move to Texas and just like sign a piece of paper and have my license, but
off to the races.
Right.
Yeah, and maybe that's what Jason. They said too. It wasn't particularly hard. There was just a whole like it was a lot.
It was a hard process. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too is like the getting the license. Isn't that a part of it too? Is like you have to go down to the city or like to the.
You have to go to your testing center. You got to go get your fingerprints done, your picture take. Like they do the whole background check, everything. So
probably good.
Which I mean is right. You're going into people's homes when they're not home.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you would want to make sure that someone's not like a criminal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just your home, just probably the biggest asset that you own. Most people like. Yeah. So what got you into real estate?
Grew up with it. My mom was a realtor, or is a realtor. She got her license, I don't know, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, maybe.
Okay.
And so I kind of just grew up going to open houses.
Cool.
With her as she was hosting them. I remember, she would put her business cards out on the table when people walked in the door, and I would be so jealous that I didn't have business cards, so I would take a piece of paper and rip it up and write my name and her phone number on it.
You were a realtor before you knew it was cool.
Exactly.
You wanted business cards?
Oh, yeah. I was like, why do you get business cards and I don't?
So you made your own.
So I made my own.
Very entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
Again, I love that.
Right?
It is always fun.
I never had to share commissions with them. She never shared their commissions with me, though.
She bought your clothes. She raised you. What else did she do? She probably bought your sports stuff.
All my food.
And all your food. She
put a roof over my head.
Yeah, she took you to fun stuff. So I mean, in a way, you were getting a percentage of the deal.
That's true.
But that's funny. That's so cool. She would take you to open houses. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And okay, so when you're at what point in your life were you did you know from the time you were making your own business cards that you're going to be a realtor?
I knew I wanted to do something in real estate from that time. I didn't know if it was I want to be a realtor, if I wanted to do property management, if I wanted to do real estate investments.
Yeah.
Knew I wanted to do something. Mm-hmm. And then just ended up getting my license while I was in college and said, all right, let's do it and try it out. And
what did you go to school for?
For business. So I went to Babson College in Massachusetts and got it's business administration degree. It's the only thing they offer.
Okay.
But then concentrated in finance and real estate.
Cool. Very cool. So you are well equipped to be selling homes.
Absolutely.
Doing deals.
Absolutely.
Making dreams come true. Making a newspaper.
Yeah.
Tell me about I'm very excited to hear more about Easton Park Gazette.
Yeah, I'm excited. So the second edition is coming out when we're recording this, so mid to end November.
Okay.
And the first two editions were more kind of vague articles as we were getting started and kind of building it up. But my goal over the next, 6 months or so is to really get from the community what they want to hear. So for December's edition, there's going to be a recap on the HOA meeting that we just had.
Okay.
Going to be, more events that are in the area in Easton Park and, a spotlight on different companies in Easton Park. So
awesome.
I want 90% of it to be community focused.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that it's because there's the HOA newsletter that they do, which is great. But this feels so much more what's the word? Grassroots, kind of from the community, for the community, supporting the community. And I think that the HOA is doing a good job, but there's a level of I don't know this is just going to feel so much more like home.
Right. And when there has to be differentiating opinions from, what the HOA is putting out, like, we can have people who aren't afraid to, mention that or say, hey, maybe we should focus on this. And, it's less cookie cutter of,
less cookie cutter is a really good way to put it. Well, and there's not like the, like, it doesn't have to be so PC. Like the HOA has to be so very unbiased and so very like, of course, as they should be.
Yes,
truly.
Absolutely.
But you have kind of the ability to get other people's perspectives. You should have, what was it when people would write in? Like, dear.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm blanking. Dear Abby.
Yes.
You should have a Dear Timmy. Do you go by Timmy ever?
No, okay. I never ever did.
So it's a perfect alias. They would never know it's you answering.
I'm not Timmy. No, not Timmy. When we're writing this.
Okay, yeah, no, of course not. Yeah, no, it's a perfect
alias. I don't know
alias.
who Timmy is.
No one would ever know it was you, of course. But you could respond, Timmy. That was. Are you a South Park fan? Did you ever watch South Park?
I've never watched it, but I know exactly what that is. My friends in college was Timmy, all the time.
Stop. That's not my name. You're ruining my 10 plus years from now. Alias that I'm gonna write in my Easton Park Gazette. Timmy, that's fine. Or you could be Andrew.
Yes.
Andy.
Yeah.
Dear Andy.
I like it.
Instead of Dear Abby.
Oh, I like it.
Cut this, Steve, so that no one knows that we talked about it.
Secrets now.
That would be awesome. Yes. Dear Andy, I have a problem with my neighbor. Their dog barks constantly.
Right.
What should I do?
Right.
And Andy
can respond.
No, that's too saucy. You're gonna have to choose what you put in because you got to be somewhat unbiased, right? Like because
to a level.
We have friends that there's a lot of realtors in Easton Park. There's no surprise, and everyone's very supportive of each other, which I think is awesome.
Which surprised me so much in this industry of how supportive all the realtors are here.
You have to be. I think in a community this tight knit, like creating enemies is the dumbest thing I think you can do. And from what we've seen. All of the realtors in Easton Park, they either collaborate or they support one another. And I think they've all said, like, there's enough business to go around.
Oh, yeah.
We're all very busy.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, it's all great. So, are you focused mostly on Easton Park or you're all over Austin?
Yeah, so I'm all over, but I'm kind of creating a team within my brokerage that's Easton Park specific so that, myself and my team can know the data of Easton Park specifically. So,
awesome.
90% of my time and energy is going to go into Easton Park, and 100% of my team members under me time is going to go into Easton Park. So it's not just in 78744 3 beds on average go for this. It's going to be 3 beds in Bryant Park versus 3 beds in Nob Hill versus 3 beds in Prospect Park go for this. And
awesome.
Prospect Park is selling better than Nob Hill or vice versa or whatever. So it's like really getting to that minute data detail that our team is starting to grow and build that data set.
And I think that's so important because there's people in the homes in Bryant Park are beautiful. The homes we're in Nob Hill are beautiful. They're different looking, right? Especially Nob Hill is a very different vibe. The houses look different, like much more traditional feel. And then you get like across the street and it's much more modern. They're newer, right? So there was a point in time during COVID, at whatever point in COVID it was, where remember when wood got really, really expensive?
Oh, yeah.
And people were buying houses cash upbidding.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a wild time.
Right.
And there were homes in Bryant Park that were 3-bed, 2-bath starter homes going for like $600, $700, $800. Like it was wild, right?
It's crazy.
And I think that what you're doing to look at neighborhood by neighborhood, because it is all very different, is so important because just because a smaller 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Prospect Park is selling for, I don't know, I'm totally pulling this out of the sky, I'm guessing 6, 7 now, doesn't mean that same house in Bryant Park or a similar house isn't going for 4. Right. And the expectation has to be set.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it's just nothing but disappointment.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing that really differentiates a lot of realtors is, you know, I'll tell you whatever you want to hear to get the listing.
Yeah.
Where, you know, myself and my team are, if, you know, you want me to sell your house right now for $200,000 over what is ever going to get for it, I'm going to say
no.
Good luck. You know, however I can help, let me know. But I'm not going to be, you know, put my name on that.
Yeah.
So, you know, having that conversation up front and just not saying what, you know, the client wants to hear, but what the client needs to hear.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It is so important. My background was in commercial real estate and the operations side. And the two groups that I worked with, which are both well-known and respected in Austin, which I'm proud to be a part of those two, which was Live Oak and a company called Lead Commercial. Lead Commercial veered off of Live Oak ultimately. Was that, but it's integrity up front. And on the commercial side, there's financial analysis and there's this whole process that you've got to go through because you're looking at many triple net and like the leases that go up every, you know.
Oh yeah,
it's a whole thing. But I remember there's a difference in a professional who says this is, or someone who's like, yeah, we can get the deal done knowing that the rent increases and the CAM and everything is will kill the business. Right. You see the financials.
Right.
And they'll take the deal just to get the deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't do that.
No.
That's a whole business. Like there's employees, there's people, and just same thing with like what you were just talking about is telling someone you can sell their house, you can list it for $200,000 more, and then what? They're making plans. Maybe they're building or buying another house contingent on that sale.
Right.
It's devastating.
That, or you're starting off on a bad foot where the days on market by the time you get the price decreases to where it should be is already 100 days on market, and you know that's the worst time. So it's all about being honest and being candid even when it's, you know, not good news. And
Steve, I learned from Steve, we run our business together and we're in human resources. It's not a pretty business, frankly. And there's a lot of really tough conversations that we have all day every day. And he learned this, I don't know where he learned it from. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he learned it from a sales manager at his last company where he did commercial audio video is bad news early is news. Yeah. Like, it's just news. It's bad news late is bad news. Right. Like, you can't, I don't know, you just got, it's not worth anyone's time. Right. You know, and it's uncomfortable. Yeah. But it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And you don't want to spin your wheels and your team's wheels. Right. On something where you're like, I know, we have a listing, but like you'll never sell it.
Yeah. So what are we celebrating?
So, the listing. Of course. No, it's not worth it. And so you're managing your team, or you're the guy.
So I'm starting to build the team. So the way EXP works is EXP is a brokerage, you know, in multiple, you know, all over the world really. Yeah. And then I'm on a team here under Keenan Beck. He's my team lead on the OneSource team. Okay. He's top 1% of all of Austin, like I think 10 years in a row now. He's awesome. Fantastic. Awesome leader. They learned so much from him. And then I'm starting a team as well under him.
Very cool.
For Easton Park specific.
I love that.
You know, neighborhood and market. So
yeah. So maybe you can educate me and people that are interested in moving into Easton Park, because this is something I still don't understand. When we had a realtor and we were like, we knew we were going to buy, we came to Easton Park and fell in love. Right. We're like,
everyone does.
Obviously we're going to buy here. And I think it like not unlike yourself, like 3 or 4 days in, we're like, okay. Yeah. But when we went into the builder, they were like, well, you've already talked to us, so you can't have like you can't have a real estate agent. Yeah. And we were like, then we're not doing the deal, because we need someone with our best interests. Right. And we ended up working with a real estate agent. But can you kind of explain that process and that system?
Yeah. So some builders are more tough than others. All builders have that policy.
Sure.
To what extent they enforce it, it differentiates. But yeah, so if anyone's interested in coming to Easton Park and you want someone on your side, at least as of today, all builders are paying buyer's agent commission, so it's not any money out of your pocket.
Oh, cool.
But someone to be on your side, to know what to look for in, you know, if you're doing a 2-week build, what to look for in the foundation stage and the framing stage and, you know, everything. Then reach out to the realtor first. and then let the realtor schedule the tours, or at least register you with the builder.
Okay.
And then, they recognize that you have an agent, and they honor that. So
got it.
Yeah, it's a process. Like I said, all builders have that policy. Some enforce it more or less than others, but
yeah, when we were about to walk on our deal, we were like, we're not doing this, and they're like, okay. But I think anyone building a home, whether it's your first or fifth, like you need an agent representing you, right?
You don't need it, but I
should have.
Yes,
because there is no money out of your pocket, right? How does that work? Especially now with this new switch.
Yeah, exactly. So with the new NAR settlement and everything, National Association of Realtors.
Yeah.
It's just, you need to be upfront about, hey, the seller we're going to negotiate that the seller is paying my commission. And, we're going to do everything I can to not have that come out of your pocket.
Yeah.
As the buyer. As of today, all the builders are paying some sort of buyer's agent commission.
In Easton Park.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Clarify that.
Not every builder.
Not every.
Everywhere.
I don't know the whole country.
But in Easton Park now.
Easton Park, some sorts. Some are paying 3%. Some are paying a flat $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. $40,000. Depending on the price level of the house.
Got it. And does that pricing scale feel worth it for you to, like, for realtors?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with any of the builders and what they're offering right now. I think they're all offering very fair compensation to the broker, but also fair incentives to the buyer too. So
Excellent.
What a lot of people don't understand also when they're coming in is, if the builder doesn't need to pay 3%, 2%, $30,000 commission to my agent, I can get them to give me that extra money, which the way the builders work is that's two different pools of money.
Right.
So oftentimes they're going to give you some. The builders have a lot of great incentives right now, but that doesn't impact what they can pay to the realtor. So just having that ability to have someone on your side who does it day in and day out,
right.
To have your back, know what to look for in the contract, know what to look for throughout, because you're going to have inspections, but still, if you have a good realtor, they're going by the lot multiple times with the contract.
Right.
The inspector goes twice.
Yeah, especially in Easton Park when most of your stuff is in. You're like, I'm gonna hit them all real quick. Like, check them all.
We're going to the food truck. We're gonna take the long way.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go drive by this house and this client and that client. Just look at their house and
grab some Siniso on the way. Get some Thai food, maybe a taco.
Of course.
It's kind of like from like the HR recruiting is where we started our business as recruiters, and really, like, I think there's a misnomer of, like, if I go with a recruiter, my salary is going to go down, and really, like, most of the time,
right,
the salary is a salary, and the recruiter gets a percentage of that first year salary. Right. It's totally separate pools of money. That's their recruiting budget versus their payroll budget.
Right.
And it sounds like with real estate, it's kind of the same thing of, like, who pays, just because you don't have a realtor representing you doesn't mean you're getting that extra $30,000-$40,000 off the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that is important that people know that, because we've learned in our business is, we use, like, vernacular and vocabulary and acronyms all the time that are so normal to us.
Right.
That when you're, like, you're on the world just spitting that stuff out, and anyone who doesn't know human resources are like, what are you talking about? Right. And it's rude, right? Like, and I'm never trying to be rude, but it's just like, oh, sorry, this is normal every day, but
then you also don't want to make them feel
lesser in the knowledge.
Understand. I don't want to say stupid, but you don't want to make them feel stupid. If
topic.
I'm explaining to you what I don't know, HOA means,
right?
A lot of people are like, well, yeah, I know what an HOA is.
But what if someone doesn't?
And then
first-time home buyer.
Exactly. So it's tough.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's where you saying, like, hey, in even people that have bought 2 or 3 or 4 homes, say, like, the fact that you're going so granular, it's like, here's what a 2-bedroom 3-bath in Bryant Park is selling for versus Nob Hill versus Skyline versus Kiki versus Prospect. Anyone who doesn't know the industry like you do, or like your colleagues, is like, you're just like, oh yeah, in Easton Park, that 3-bedroom 2-bath just sold for $900,000.
Right.
Whereas it doesn't compute. And I think that just data is the way that you politely bring knowledge to people.
Right.
When they're like, no, I know that it's sold. And you're like, well, babe, but I know, but this is a different,
right.
That house is 6 years younger or whatever. Like, and then also with the realtor and this pool of money versus this pool of money, I wouldn't have known that.
Right.
You know? And so like, you just come across as so genuine and very like more of an educator.
So that's really where I want to tell a lot of people, because my two things that I wanted to be in life was something to do with real estate and a teacher. To the point where
nailed it.
Even after I got my license in Massachusetts, the teachers' exams are called MTELs. I was still taking my MTELs, where I was like, you know what, real estate's great, but I really want to teach.
Yeah.
So I was getting my MTELs, I was taking my exams, studying for everything. So that's that kind of the position I bring is, I'm not just gonna sell your house, because most people are gonna buy 2-3 homes in their life.
Sure.
So like, I want to also teach you. You know, what to look out for this time and next time and the time after that, whether or not you use me. That, you know, I hope that you do use me again and again, and you know, you'll see the value add that I give you. But you know, I want to educate you on that as well. So you know, it's a mix, especially first-time home buyers, of you know, just being able to educate them on the different programs and what to look for. And so I feel like real estate is the perfect fit for me, where it's the real estate world that I loved, but also being able to teach and you know, kind of have that side.
It's like a special relationship you have with your clients. And like Alex and Amanda, who have been our real estate agents, it's hard to leave that relationship, right? Because it's a deep, you're looking at money.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at you're dealing with sometimes dealing with a couple.
Yeah.
Which can get buying it can get probably a little hairy. Oh, yeah. And like, it's hard. It's really hard, you know? And I think the education piece is like, that's where we're trying to get with our business, is like educating, not telling.
Right.
And it's two totally different things.
Right.
And I'm not an educator, so it's like a really big challenge for me, but that's where growth comes, and that's where trust and like forward movement, it's cool. Yeah. It's cool that you
That's right. I love talking about it so much too. That's like, if you know, you're going through the process or about to go through the process, and you're like, I'm going with Aunt Sally, who has her license, but you know, she really doesn't do real estate. You just be like, hey Tim, can we go get a coffee at Sonizo and talk me through some of this? I just love to teach and talk about real estate. Then I'm like, yes, absolutely, let's go, let's do it. You know, treat me to a coffee, that'll be my payment, and you know, go with Aunt Sally. Yeah. In that, you know, 30-minute coffee meeting, 95% of the time, you see how much value I bring to it, and then 95% of the time, you know, they end up coming with me. But still, just like, whether or not you're like, no, I am using Aunt Sally, but I want to pick your brain, I'm so happy to do it. Yeah, well, and then in old aunts, you got probably a bunch of Aunt Sallys who are like, Tim, right? But that actually brings me to, it's a really good segue to something you and Steve talked about while you had coffee at Sonizo, is farming, farming people, and I'd love to hear more about your kind of concept of that, because what you're constantly doing is like farming, like having coffee at Sonizo to talk about Aunt Sally's, you know, opinion on real estate, is you're making a connection. So talk me through farming. Yeah. So essentially what I'm, you know, looking to do is, you know, with a newspaper, just get my name out there, and not everyone's looking to sell their home in the next 2 months. So, you know, the amount of people are reaching out, which, you know, I've actually already had a couple of people reach out from the newspaper, which is great, even after the one send, but, you know, it's just over time to know, like, hey, like, this guy knows what he's doing. Like I said, we're building a whole data set. So, you know, the whole back page of the newspaper is, you know, all just the stats of the month before, just of Easton Park specifically. So, you know, it's understanding the markets. So that's another point of educating, you know, people of whether or not you use me, here are the stats of the neighborhood and kind of what you can expect to get, you know, for your house relative. Obviously, there's a million other factors, but so, you know, that will go out monthly. Very cool. Starting, you know, at EP Homes Instagram and Facebook, of just the homes for sale in the market, and love that, you know, what we're offering or what the builders are offering, and you know, so just really trying to educate everyone on the biggest asset of most people's life. Yeah, I just had in my mind, a vision, and there's a kid down the street. His name's Sam, and he's a little entrepreneur. He's done
Has he done yard? He washes cars.
Love it.
He's like 9. Sam, I'm so sorry. You might be 11 now or 12. Oh, they grow up so fast.
Right?
I love Sam, and the Haslets are absolutely wonderful. But Sam has been so entrepreneurial. He's just an entrepreneurial kid. He's like scooped poop. He's washed cars. He's so cool. And in my mind's eye, I just saw Sam on his scooter, like with a paper route with your paper.
Yes.
And just like how cool, how nostalgic. Because a paper's nostalgic in and of itself.
Reach out to me.
Sam.
Let's do it.
Sam used to come over and make Christmas when he was not too, and I think he still would. I'm going to invite him this year, but he used to come make Christmas cookies with me every year.
Fun.
I love Sam.
Can I be invited?
Yeah, you want to make Christmas cookies this year? Okay, done. We'll podcast. We could have a wine, wine and cookie.
Talking.
Sam, you can't come to this one, but that would be so fun.
Right.
There was a point in my career where I was making probably like 1,100 cookies a Christmas.
My god!
It was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Like, and every year I was like,
doing with all of them?
I was giving them to clients and their employees, and I was eating all of them. We got duped. We bought a Moss Consulting cookie press for sugar cookies. It was wooden. I'm sure we still have it, and it was not working. And I was making them all from scratch. It's so dumb.
That's
so dumb. It was, in theory, it was an excellent idea.
Branding.
Yeah.
I love it.
Branding, but then the I don't care how much powdered sugar or flour, I could not get the cookie to press. And it was saying Moss Consulting HR Service. I mean, there's a lot of very small letters on a large cookie. And Steve came home at one point and was like, "I can do it. How hard could it be? It's a cookie press." And I was like, "Please." And he couldn't get it to do it. And so then it was just a bunch of flat cookies. But anyway, we could do a wine and cookie podcast.
Oh, I'm all about it.
We'll come up with a more creative name, but wouldn't that be fun?
Oh my god, so fun.
Back to the newspaper. I think it's so nostalgic, and having Sam deliver at
right?
He's got to get up before school, put his park on,
right? Oh my god, I love it.
Toss him to doorsteps. Sam, we need the perfect toss every time, right to the front door. We won't be in my mind. I can just see people come out in their robes, be like, it would be amazing. But I do think this is such a cool way.
Even if this doesn't actually happen, we're making a video on this.
1,000%.
Because that would be fantastic.
Oh yes, it's the best. We're doing it. Yes, I think it's such a great way to connect to the community, and people are talking about it. One of the girls that work with us, she lives in Bryant Park, and this morning we kind of asked about the newspaper, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, I remember seeing the newspaper. It's going to take some time,
absolutely,
to become a normal thing, but it's being noticed."
Well, and that's the thing too, is if anyone that's watching wants to write an article on an event that happened in Easton Park or an upcoming event, in Easton Park, and wants to be involved, that's a lot of the articles so far are cookie cutter articles, no pun intended. We were just talking about cookies, but I guess it's on my mind. That the marketing company I work with puts there, but I really want to replace all of those articles with Easton Park articles. So what's going on in the neighborhood? What are upcoming events? What event next month is Dinner Club having, and how do you get more information on that? And, so if anyone wants to put some stuff in the newspaper, I'm so happy to do that. I just want it to be as community focused as possible, so you open the newspaper and you learn something about the community.
I love that. Can I tee one up for the next one? She's one of my dear friends. She's actually Briggs, my nephew, our nephew I was telling you about earlier, is at her house right now. Emily Smith is doing Art in the Park on January 4th. She applied for and received a grant from the city, and it is so cool. She's such an artist. So when you go and get Thai food, the mural that's behind the truck?
Yes.
Emily painted that.
Cool.
She's so cool. She's such an artist. She does the coolest stuff. She got the grant for Art in the Park. It's an all access, all inclusive, all age, come, and she's so cool. She's like, come be weird, come be creative. That should be it's going to be huge. And the fact that she got this grant was a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
So I think that should be, could be your cover.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yes. Steve put me in touch with Emily.
Yay.
Yesterday, this morning. So we were talking, and or emailing back and forth today.
You were
Actually,
isn't she
literally
so cool?
on my way here, saw an email come through. So, oh yeah, that's gonna be front page art in the park. I'm like, really excited for it.
I love Emily so
I cannot
much.
wait. It sounds like it's gonna be a cool event.
It is. It's going to be so cool. And she's just so genuine about wanting to share art with everyone. And like on the Wicked Walk, she did, we did, well, I say we, I only put the glue on people. She's the artist, but like when she did glitter tattoos, and next to the, I love her so much. It said art is for everyone. And then in Spanish, it said art is for everyone, because that's a big demographic coming through. And she's so inclusive. She's so cool. And I think that art in the park is like, I know it's already a success because she got the grant.
Oh yeah.
But it's going to be one of the coolest events I think Easton Park has done.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited.
So excited for her.
Yeah.
It's going to be excellent. Wait. And that'll be front and center.
It'll be. We'll commit to it right now. Front and center for December's edition.
Committed. He's
done.
Committed. It's done. Excellent. Okay, so Easton Park, what's your favorite thing about Easton Park?
Oh, I'm trying to think of something other than community.
Yeah.
Before we started talking, you said everyone says community.
Yeah, we'll say community so that we can add you in the thing.
Yes, community.
Thank you.
No, absolutely community. But I think, and I guess it ties into community too. Just walking, down the street and seeing, especially I'm in Prospect, so we're still very, very early in construction, where we're meeting neighbors who moved in before us, but we're meeting neighbors who are coming and peeking in the windows of their houses as they're being built, and just already kind of growing that community in Prospect Park specifically too. So it's cool. It's a lot of fun. I just love, taking the dog on the walk and just seeing the neighbors and waving, getting to know, get to know them all, and
it's so exciting.
And all of the dogs in the area too.
I know.
Oh my god, we met one dog the other day who lives like 3 houses down from us. His name is Miso. And his, I guess, like cousin. Okay. I don't know if it was the mom's dog or sister's dog or something to the owner, but name is Sushi, and just absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Lots of dogs in this neighborhood.
A lot of dogs. The dog park's great.
Yes.
They say it's temporary, but it's been there a long time.
I can't figure that one out. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know where the main one will go.
The story always changes. When we moved in, the dog park was going to be across the street by the trolley across from us. Yeah. Clearly, that didn't happen, along with many other things that were going to, as it happens with developments, it's totally fine. But I think the dog park where it is now is excellent.
It's perfect.
It's like
get your coffee, go to the dog park.
Yeah, go to the Union. Yeah. Like, it's perfect. Love it. What would you add to Easton Park?
Oh gosh, good question. I'm a big live music and theater person. Okay. So, I mean, in Skyline they kind of have an area for live music, but I'd love to see kind of like an outdoor amphitheater kind of stage sort of thing. Yeah. Specifically built for live music and live theater. I think that'd be cool, but I don't know. I think they're doing a really good job.
I think they're doing a great job. You're preaching to the choir on the music stuff. Steve and I run Music in the Park. I don't know if you've been to a concert yet, but we put concerts on. Yeah. And right now we're having to do them. We used to do them in our garage.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, during COVID, we really missed live music, and Steve's got an audio video background. Yeah. And we were outside in the front yard drinking, as saying hi to the neighbors. Right. And nothing. What else is going on? Exactly. Nothing. And he's like, we could, because there's a hill outside of the front of our house in the park, and he was like, we could have a show in our garage. And so we called them like the garage concerts. Yeah. And we had incredible artists. Jackie Vincent came. Nolo swimming with bears. No, Nolo didn't play there. Nane swimming with bears. Bart Crow. Cool. We had big names, like at least in local Austin. Leyline Sound. If you haven't heard, oh my god, all of them are excellent.
Oh, I'm sad I wasn't here yet for that.
Yeah, me too, because you would have loved it. And then it got a little wild because, as it does, and we promoted. Yeah. I mean, we didn't stop it. So then. Colette, have you met Paul at the HOA?
Yes.
Okay, he's wonderful. We love Paul. Yes. Prior to Paul, there was Colette, and Colette kind of reached out, and she's like, hey, we're going to do Music in the Park at the Union. And we went to one, and we were like, hey, well, we're really connected with a bunch of bands. Yeah. We'd love to. And so we, I don't know, took over, but we partnered with the HOA to bring relevant Austin and local bands to the Union. And so next year, I don't know how many shows we're going to have next year. We had 4 this year.
Yeah.
5 with 4th of July, and then we'll probably help. We helped with a couple of others. We're just Paul and I are like, we go way back now.
Right.
But come to the next show.
Yes.
I agree with you though that we'll talk about that in a second. That having like a proper stage for actual music, because putting music on, everyone's like, why aren't we doing music at Skyline Park? And it's like, do you know the cost that it would take to run sound out there is that you can't just run.
Right.
There's no end to the sound. You have to have like a theater.
Oh yeah.
Which is why we do it at the Union, because we do it like, you know where the fireplace is in the middle?
Yeah.
The stage is at the doors where you would walk out facing the pool.
Right.
Because at least it like corridors the sound a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a really cool neighbor. I think his name is Eli. I can't remember, and I'm sorry, Eli, if I'm getting your name wrong. Here in Nob Hill, who does concerts at their home.
I think I just remember seeing that on Facebook.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Before we moved here.
Dusty Miller, who lives in the neighborhood, has done stuff with them, and so is Ryan DeCiato. And if you haven't heard either of those guys, like, excellent musicians and excellent people. They're so cool. But yeah, there's just I love the creativity of Easton Park, like community, and then subset creativity of the cool people. We talked about your Siniso order. We talked about how great the Thai truck was.
Yes.
Is. Hopefully is for a long time.
They're spicy though.
I know, but I love it.
Oh my Lord,
it's like,
so good.
Have you been to Sway yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Which one is that?
There's one. There used to be 3 of them. Now there's only one out in Bee Caves.
Okay.
It's like it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's Thai food.
Yeah.
And it is excellent. I love Sway, and it's like such a special thing now, especially because they're so far away.
Yeah.
But if you're into the Thai,
love Thai
and you
food.
like the spice, little you got some masks menu where you're just like, oh, I like it to hurt, and that Thai spice it's like different than like salsa spicy, and it's also different than like wasabi horseradish. It's like it hurts your throat and your nose, and like in the best way.
Even thinking about it, I'm like,
I know. Yeah, I know. You're like salivating, like it's so spicy.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go to the Thai truck tonight. But yeah, try Sway, which is a really good segue into us. Maybe is there anything else you want to talk about the Easton Park Gazette? When does it come out? Like, when can people expect it?
So it's usually right around the 3rd week of the month.
Okay.
Every month.
Can I hold it up? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Happy to hold it up.
Yeah, maybe open it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It comes out roughly around the 3rd week of every month.
It's gonna be weird that I'm compelled to smell it.
No, seriously.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Because they send me like a million extras each month. So like I open it up and the same exact thing. One of my favorite things on there, which I think is the page you were just looking at the bottom, is that the pet of the month?
What your clients have to?
Oh no, that's nice too. My client reviews, but
yeah. No one hates a client review.
No.
Pet of the month.
Yes, pet of the month.
Goose.
Oh
my goodness.
I mean, this was the first edition that went out, so like.
Is this your dog?
Yes. So I had to start it out, you know, but
she's so cute.
She's the best. But you can submit for Pet of the Month nominations, and each month on my Instagram page,
Goose.
she's the sweetest. Everyone will vote, so we'll have 3 nominees a month. And then whoever has the most votes will be the Pet of the Month and win a $50 Paws on Chicone gift card each month.
So smart.
You know they're coming.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. He's going to be sitting right there in a couple weeks.
Oh, no way. He's such a good guy.
Oh,
yeah.
I honestly, I guessed his name wrong the other day, but I've...
Keith. Yeah.
Keith.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Keith Zeller.
Yeah.
Keith Zeller. Paws on Chicone. Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Goose. That's the cutest little pup.
Oh, she's the best.
No, this is excellent. I love, can we read one of your, would it embarrass you if I read one of your client reviews?
Go for
I
it.
haven't read a newspaper in a while. Huh?
You gotta get back on mic.
Oh, I know. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to navigate this. The newspaper. I haven't read a newspaper
haven't done it in a while.
long
I
time.
know.
Okay, let's read what my clients have to say. Blake S. says, Tim helped us purchase our new home in Easton Park. We cannot be happier. He was in constant communication with us and was able to negotiate a deal that we were thrilled with. We highly recommend Tim to all of our friends.
Yes.
Aw, Blake. Excellent. And then the second one says, I cannot recommend Tim enough. I was a first-time home buyer, and he helped us along the entire way. He even sat down with us for over an hour to explain the home buying process and answer our 500 questions. He was able to negotiate everything, and we wanted everything that we wanted in our first home. Very knowledgeable on the Austin market and super responsive. That's a big thing,
right?
You got the responsiveness. Oh, yeah. I love this.
Thank you. I'm excited. It's still in its early stages, so like I said, want to really get more community articles in there, community focused. But we're building it out, and
love it.
Already had a really great response to it, so excited and looking forward to it.
How are you giving these to people? I mean, I know Sam's going to start delivering them.
Exactly, just chuck them out.
Yeah.
No, they go to everyone's door in Easton Park. They get mailed directly to their house.
Oh, cool.
Every month. If you are a new owner, it might take a little bit to get you caught up and added to the list because it comes from tax records and all that. So,
oh yeah.
If you are already living here and not getting it, just shoot me a text or an email, and we'll add you to the list so you can start getting it. But
you're playing that TCAD game, getting those addresses.
Oh yeah,
I love TCAD. If people want to work with you, how do they reach out?
Just text, email, phone numbers right on the paper there, 737-259-6434. And can shoot me a text, and we'll set up just a meeting, whether that's Zoom or coffee at Sanizo, and get going.
Love it. And your email address is tim@onesourceaustin.com.
Yep.
Excellent. And you can go to onesourceaustin.com.
Yep.
And that takes us to your website.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tim, thank you.
And we'll have a EP Homes website coming to in the next couple months. So
awesome.
We'll have that as well.
Very cool. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
So much fun.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next time.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.